people, one of the things in the world that I like the most is when a person who has a completely different worldview than mine, and I can find some point on which we both agree. Respect and real diversity are two of my most favorite things, but I can't make everyone believe the way I do since I can't control what others think. When I think of diversity, I don't simply mean the different shades of skin that individuals have. It also includes the different points of view that people have. The feeling of hatred is never a healthy reaction to have. The emotion of hatred is a state of thought that may be conceptualized as the devastation of lives, the making of persons ugly and harsh, and the disturbance of harmony between people. Why do I even bother to bring this subject up? Take a glance at the header of this essay to see the proof for yourself. You did get that phrase right the first time. It's conceivable that you're already aware of this, but a website devoted to feminist concerns asserts that important individuals on social media are misrepresenting objectification as empowerment, which is damaging to women. It's possible that you're already aware of this. The author of the piece is a woman by the name of Laura McNally, and because of the eloquence with which she presented her ideas in the essay, a large majority of readers agree with the position that she adopted. The great majority of MGTOW are aware that women do not get more independent when they feel empowered by wearing almost little clothes and jiggling their assets. Rather, it makes them slaves to their needs and to other men. This is something that the vast majority of MGTOW are aware of. The vast majority of MGTOW are already familiar with this fact. My video, which I just finished making, was inspired by the knowledge that she shared in her post, and I just wanted to thank her for that. Despite the fact that there is a great deal of misery and misunderstanding in the world, even though the majority of contemporary women want to be treated as people rather than objects, they almost never criticize another woman for spending her time on social media, bragging about how hot she is or how expensive her clothes are. This is because they want to be treated as people themselves. This is due to the fact that the vast majority of contemporary women desire to be dealt with as persons as opposed to things. When I say this, I'm talking to those stunning ladies who don't bring anything cerebral or philosophical to the table in their interactions. You are familiar with the kind. It is probable that you are rather choosy when it comes to the people with whom you prefer to spend time. Yet this is not something that you need of the people with whom you want to spend time. Individuals who have a healthy level of love for themselves will also have a healthy amount of love and care for the relationships in their lives. There are some males who do not share this perspective about the status of women. They do not view them as live beings, but rather as pieces of flesh or trophies that should be revered and respected. Because of the significance of the roles that women play in society, it is feasible that we need to be thankful to MGTOW for supporting men in learning that women do not deserve to be put on a pedestal because of the importance of the roles that they play in society. If this is the case, then why do a large proportion of men continue to view women as trophies? This is because they engage in questionable behavior across a variety of social media sites, which has led to this result. This is the opening paragraph of the article that Laura wrote. While I was reading it, I kept seeing these photographs of women's rear ends that were just partially covered. There were also several images of adorable little children, which appeared to be out of context. Yet, there was one photo that truly stuck out from the others. Suddenly, the lady whose bottom I am quite familiar with is wearing clothing to raise awareness about the importance of mental health for young people. Only one paragraph, yet it manages to capture what a lot of people are thinking. These ladies who post images on social media in the hopes of gaining male attention and free meals are able to quickly adapt to every new trend. When you run across a celebrity, make it a point to question yourself whether or not what they say differs from what the media reports. If it isn't, these women are pretty much the same in 99. 9% of the cases, which means they will act as if they care about something to get likes, views, and hopefully partnerships with brands. In our society, it is considered unethical to acknowledge that one is in love with money. The fact that many influential people do this demonstrates an astounding lack of moral integrity. To admit that one is infatuated with wealth is frowned upon in our society since it is seen as unethical. Sadly, this is something that a substantial number of important people do on a daily basis. It is a perfectly acceptable activity on the part of women. No one has the authority to criticize them for attempting to profit from their attractiveness. By taking part in the most recent fad, as this is a perfectly acceptable endeavor on their part, they are entirely within the bounds of the law when it comes to acting in this manner. When it comes to the business world, it is perfectly acceptable for women to try to improve their financial standing by maximizing the benefits that can be derived from their appearance in whichever manner they see appropriate. It is quite important to convey the impression that you care while adhering to the terminology that is typical of the environment in which you are working. It is possible to attain this goal by making use of phrases such as "I understand" or "I admire." This may at times make things more difficult than they need to be. Let's keep reading Laura's words. These influencers make money off of young women by causing them to suffer from big issues at a young age while they are still relatively young. This occurs while the young women are still in their teens. They are still able to cause these problems in their young victims and profit from them, despite the fact that the influencers themselves are only about half as old as their victims. They are able to do this because of their ability to manipulate others. They then try to raise awareness about mental health by uploading hedonistic images onto social media, which leads young women to develop an unhealthy perspective on what a body should look like and drives them to loathe their own bodies. In addition, young men develop an unhealthy perspective on what a body should look like. The usually inspiring narrative of their endeavor has taken a horrifying turn due to this unfortunate development. They pair these photographs with language on issues such as mindfulness and inner beauty, as if the aforementioned concepts were not contributing aspects in the mental health difficulties that they profess to be worried about. In other words, they act as if the above concepts are not relevant. It is not my intention to convey the impression that every single woman who comes from a less privileged home is precisely the same. But I do want to underline how risky it could be to offer these women leadership or responsibility in a position of authority. Because I believe that doing so would be immoral, I am not recommending that we make them illegal, and as a result. In addition, I am not proposing that we make them illegal or unlawful. In my opinion, acting in such a manner would be unethical. In the light of my values, conducting oneself in such a way is not anything that can be called ethical. Even if you follow a large number of different accounts on Instagram, you can still search for the content that is posted by the accounts that are of interest to you in order to find it. The phrase "the matrix of desire" is the one that most accurately represents what is currently in front of you. Engineers who work on social media platforms receive training to keep consumers enthralled by content in order to encourage them to view exactly what their employers want them to view, which in this instance is a gallery of naked men and women. In response to this article, a second lady wrote with the following: "It is not an empowering situation for a woman to be in if she needs the sexual attention of men in order to make a living. Such a circumstance is not empowering for a woman. But the way in which you are dependent on males presents itself in a different way. It is not clear to me how being dependent on another person's ability to become sexually aroused by your body can make you feel independent or empowered. I don't understand how this could possibly work. These women are reliant on males being sexually stimulated by the sight of their bodies in order to survive. If you have any thoughts or stories to share, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. By clicking the notification bell, you won't miss any future videos. See you in the next video.